My name is Kelly Crapjo, and I am a sophomore at Paul VI High School. The topic that I chose for my sophomore research project is the filmmaking industry. In my project, I will cover topics that include how to choose a good topic, how to write a script, how to make sure that you choose the best people possible for your crew, budgeting your movie, finding a location, and how to get publicity so people will come to see your movie. Choosing a good topic is one of the most important things you have to worry about when making a movie. According to Frederick Levy, author of Short Films 101, the first step is to figure out what type of film you will be making. There are 4 basic formats: narrative, documentary, animation, and experimental. In the process, you will also have to worry about what you would like the genre to be. You want your movie to be different and stand out from everything else similar to it. You can use past experiences or collect ideas from other sources such as books, movies, or games, and mix ideas together. Be careful when thinking about all of this because you must make sure that your concept is pitchable. John Robert Marlowe, who wrote Make Your Story a Movie, says that a good test to check if you have a pitchable concept is to try to convey it in 10 seconds or less. He also makes the analogy that your pitchable concept is like oxygen, and without it, you are dead. When thinking about your script, according to Marlowe, the first thing that you will have to figure out is whether or not you are going to write it alone, or whether you would like to get some help. There are pros and cons that come with both. With the do-it-yourself method, you don't have to worry about the cost of paying another person and that you have full control over the whole story. But then there are the cons. They are pretty much the same. There are 3 key parts to a successful screenplay: establishing a topic, allowing something bad to happen, and what happens in the end. When you establish a topic, it is the point where the audience will begin to care or not care about the characters and story that you have created. The audience should get to know the character's personality, where they lived, and some things that they like to do. Allowing something bad to happen is said to be the most fun. In order to have a watchable film, there needs to be a conflict. This conflict can occur in a few ways. You could have a new character be introduced that changes the main character, or there could be something that happened to the main character, which causes a dramatic change in their future. You will need to make this interesting so that it keeps your audience wanting to see what will happen next. What happens in the end is probably the most important part, because this is where you wrap everything up. Most stories end happily, but you should choose whatever you think would sell best. When it comes to choosing your actors and your crew, you should choose wisely. Levy says in the beginning of your career, you have the easy option of going to your friends for help. But at one point, you will most likely realize that you need people who are professionally trained in the film industry. Some of these essential crew members you will need on your crew is a director, producer, sound mixer, prop master, makeup artist, and wardrobe manager, and that's only naming a few. Now moving on to finding the right actors. In the book Short Films 101, director Joe Nussbaum says that the key to putting together a great cast is pretty simple. Find the best actors available who can bring the most to the role. The only problem with this method is that not everyone has the money to hire the best actors out there. Choosing actors all depends on what you are looking for. It could be as easy as putting out a casting notice. You should start by talking with local casting directors or the local talent agencies. Now comes the most important part of the process: budgeting. The book Short Films 101 says that you can theoretically make a movie for no cost whatsoever if you have all the right elements. However, this is very uncommon. There are many ways to make a quality film for a low cost. The beg and barter system is one of them. With this system, you basically beg, not on one knee, but as Luke Greenfield does by writing a passionate letter. You need to find a way to show people your passion for filmmaking. After you find the money, you should maintain the contacts because they may become useful in the future. Another one of the most common ways is to get donations. They are probably the easiest way to get money because there are some people that are really into movies and want to help out wherever they can. You may also find quite a bit of equipment using this method. Government funding is also another way you may be able to find some money. Film grants exist depending on your subject matter. These are usually very rare and less common. The last way is to get money from investors. You should not count on getting all your money from just one source, person, or place. But after you do obtain the money, you are going to have to choose where you are going to spend it. Finding the right director to fit your movie may be very tricky and complicated. Levy, author of Short Films 101, says that a director is the advisor of his key crew, the cinematographer, editor, production designer, costume designer, etc. Even though the majority of people in the film industry aspire to become directors, you have to make sure that the person you choose is qualified. The vision for the film depends on this person, so choose wisely. If you do decide that you are not the best person for this job, then you should choose someone who has creative style and some of the same visions as yourself. You should always ask to see a reel of their work before committing to a certain person. Remember that you are looking for a person that you think will give your movie the best spark. But make sure that the person you choose does not have too big of an ego, because that one little thing could ruin your whole movie. So, in the end, making a little bit of money look like a lot on the screen is the main overall goal for you and your director. Most of the story that you are telling relies on the images in the background. An audience can easily tell when a location makes or breaks a scene. It is important to find a place that not only connects in your mind, but a place that you know will connect in the minds of your entire audience. This place should connect the scene with the actions that are happening. They should be used to enhance the story and the actors. There are three main types of locations: existing, interior and exterior, and sound stages. According to the book Short Films 101, most movies and films today are not shot inside a Hollywood soundstage, but instead they are filmed on location in places all over the world. But there are some cases where you have to film inside of a soundstage. For example, if you don't have the money to film in multiple places, then you might just decide to stay in California and use a soundstage. If you do end up using a soundstage, you do not have to use completely different sets for each place or scene. You can paint or even just reconstruct the same props. No matter what, you will have to plan ahead. If shooting on location, make sure that you contact the owner or people who are in charge of the area, because you must get their approval before anything. If shooting in a soundstage, then make sure that you reserved your time in the studio so that you have no conflict in the middle of shooting a scene. Overall, just make sure that you have a shooting schedule and distribute it to your whole cast and crew. Last but not least, you have to figure out how you're going to get publicity for your completed movie. Producer and cinematographer Eric Hassey says, "The more you get your film out there and get people to see it and create a buzz about it, the better off you're going to be, no matter what position you're in." In the book Short Films 101, I learned that Hollywood is one of the few industries that marketing is in every part of the business. The first thing you want to do, as Hassey says, is get the word out about your new film. Because if no one knows about it, then how are you ever going to make money off of it? After the word is out to some people, you should begin to attend some film festivals in your area. There is more of a chance that someone will see your movie at a festival instead of just the word getting around. You must make sure that you are ready when an opportunity comes around. There are two main ways to distribute your movie: self-distribution and getting someone to do it for you. If you decide to self-distribute, then the best way is probably to use an internet, because it provides the best opportunities for filmmakers. There is a website called ifilm.com that was created in 1999. The creators felt that there was a need for providing an outlet for films to people that were using the internet for entertainment. There are many other websites just like iFilm, which is why the internet is such a big place for self-distribution of movies. Another obvious choice for self-distribution is film festivals. They are a great way to screen your film in front of an audience and get recognized. I learned from the book Make Your Story a Movie that if you decide to go with the other method and get some help, then your best bet is to sell your movie to a bigger production company, such as Warner Brothers Pictures, Paramount Pictures, or Universal Pictures. When you do this, the production company will most likely do as a studio would: acquire properties, assemble creative teams, secure financing, and get movies made, marketed, and distributed. Throughout this project, you have learned that in order to make a movie, you need to consider how you are going to get the money needed, find actors, determine where to film the movie, and how you plan on getting the publicity that you need for the movie. The filmmaking industry is a very tough business to succeed in, which is why so many people want to pursue it. I hope you have enjoyed learning more about it.